Hello, I'm David DeCosmo. Welcome to ECTV Live. I'm joined, first of all, by my co-host, Rusty Fender. Rusty, welcome, and thank you so much for sitting in last week while I enjoyed a week of summer and at least one good day of sleeping in.
Boy, did you pick the best weeks. You have certainly an in with the climatologists, I'll tell you that much.
You told me it was going to be
Well,
nice.
I did, as a matter. I just guessed at it and it wound up coming out right.
You know where it's always nice?
Yes, I do.
Lackawanna College Environmental Center.
Yes,
We've
indeed.
talked about it a couple of times before. Michelle Wheeler from the Lackawanna College Environmental Center joins us again today as we talk about some of the programs that the center will be offering during the upcoming months. And Michelle, for those that are not familiar at all with the Lackawanna County College Environmental Center, a little bit of the history, where it is, etc.
Sure. We're part of Lackawanna College. We're the Environmental Education Center. We're located just a few turns down Route 307 in Covington Township, so about 20 minutes from downtown Scranton, or our main campus.
And basically just outside the borough of Moscow.
Yes.
For those that might be searching. And it is what amounts to a separate campus that, as the name implies, focuses on environmental issues.
Exactly. We have 211 acres and a brand new LEED certified gold multi-purpose facility. So we're a very living laboratory. We cater to our own college students. We cater to the public, and we also focus on K through 12 educations, teacher workshops, and field trips for students.
Now, it seems to me, and Rusty has always been very interested in the environment, but it seems to me that over the last 10 years or so, it has become a paramount issue where there's far more focus on environmental issues now than there ever was before.
I would agree.
What has prompted that?
Probably just everything accumulating together.
Awareness.
And awareness,
Yeah.
yeah, now's the time. I mean, really the movement for environmentalism started in the 70s, but it's finally kind of catching some momentum again now. So.
Which is a good thing, as David pointed out. You know, that's my classic line. But I was into ecology before the term existed in 1969, 1970. But you can't get anything anymore that's not touched by the environment. Even the labels on clothing and things now are now printed in soy. It's amazing. Cups from McDonald's and Burger King printed in soy, the inks. Like, everything is so biodegradable, which is a really good thing.
And more communities are turning to recycling now.
Yes.
It's amazing because that was a craze at one time, seemed to have died down.
That's right.
And now
And came
again,
back.
over those last
That's right.
10 years, it's come back into vogue, if I may. The programs that you offer are ongoing year-round. So let's talk about some of the things happening right now as fall and, of course, winter looms on the horizon. What's happening?
We've got a lot of great things going on right now. One of our most popular events are our public programs. They're in the evening. Most of them are on Wednesdays or Thursday nights. They're either 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the evening so that our guests can join us after work if they work. And I know that we have a fall walk this year. We've got Wilderness Survival Skills 101. We have a Essential Oils workshop. And we have a live reptile and amphibian show.
I'm going to miss that one.
With Rick Colville, yeah.
I'm not big on the reptiles. Pardon me. Now these are class sessions, so there's a tuition involved, I assume.
I wouldn't call it a tuition. It's $5 per person, and it's more of a donation towards the center and our program and our presenter for the evening.
Okay, and that obviously helps the center to grow. And I am just amazed at how much it has been growing, again, over a relatively short period of time. I believe we even have wind power there now, too? Or you do?
We do. We have solar photovoltaic arrays, and we also have a wind turbine. Our building also has geothermal, which is great because then we only have to heat from the constant of the earth, 55 degrees.
Wow.
So
That's pretty amazing. This is, I guess, the newest development.
Yes.
At the center. Explain, if you will, what I am looking at or what our viewers are seeing at this point.
This spring, we installed an apiary at our facility, which an apiary, for anybody that doesn't know, is several beehives together. So we have 3 beehives at the facility. We installed them with a grant, and then we have a local woman who's a beekeeper. She does her volunteering for us, and she maintains them, her and her partner. Her name is Joanne Phillips. And this year, we've worked with her and we've developed a year-long beekeeping workshop series. We're calling it Backyard Beekeeping. And this is for anybody who's interested in maybe having bees at their own house or on a property near them. So what they can do is they can join us for this workshop throughout the year, and each class will be about 1 month before you would have to know it in real time,
So put it in
bee time.
in action,
Yeah, so
to
that you
speak.
can join us for this beekeeping workshop and have a bee hive or an apiary of your own up and
Do
running
you
this spring.
harvest the honey from that as well as the paraffin wax?
Strange you
We
should
do.
say
Oh,
that.
how about that?
I
I
just
didn't know there was a problem. How
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah.
At our facility, we're only harvesting honey. Joanne also manages several other beehives throughout Northeast PA, and I know that she also collects some of the wax and also the pollen.
Oh, that's right, the pollen.
And what is especially interesting in this new effort is the fact that it comes about at a time when farmers have been complaining across the entire United States that there's been a drastic decline in the bee population,
Absolutely.
which then equates to their ability to produce crops.
The food chain. Yeah, it's the whole snowball effect on the food chain. So this is, this is bringing things back. And you talk about traditional. This is as traditional as you can get. This is like having a cow in the barn as far as farming.
And the workshop series, just to go over a couple of the titles you've indicated: Introduction to the Honeybee, Beekeeping Equipment, because obviously you do have to have some materials to be able to keep
Sure.
them properly.
Sure.
Preparing your apiary, Spring Apiary Management, and that comes in February. So again, as you said, you're working ahead of time to
Right.
tell people what they're going to have to do. For instance, the next
Season,
month
that's
ahead.
great, that's smart.
And that month will really give you enough time. So when we're doing beekeeping equipment, it'll be an entire evening of talking about beekeeping equipment, of course. So this gives you that 1 month time so that you can figure out what you need for your facility and then place the order and for it to arrive before you'd be ready to install your bees.
I'll show the poster that you have here with the various classes.
Do you also sell the bees? Is there like a bee population that you can get somewhere? The bees keep obviously recreating.
We
what do you do
don't
with
sell
the-
our bees.
I see.
And I think that, no, I'm not the beekeeper, but I think you just make your hive bigger as your
As the colony
as your
grows.
colony grows.
Got
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I know that you can split the hives and buy another queen.
Oh, I
So
see.
you could do it that way too.
Interesting science in itself. This
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah. And it seems like you're always looking for new environmental projects or things to do there.
Certainly ahead of the game. They are. That's for sure.
Natural wonders, and this is something that I happen to see. You folks are very active on Facebook.
Yes, we are.
And I happen to notice this now. The session's already started, but we'll take a look at this and Michelle, maybe you can explain a little bit about this series of projects.
Sure. Natural Wonders is a series we run every spring and fall. It's for kids ages 3 to 6 years old. You don't have to sign up for the entire series, so our first class was this past Thursday, but you could definitely join us for the next program, which I think is October 1st there. It's Insect Safari. These programs are great for the little guys. It starts off with a story time to get them introduced to the theme. Then we'll go outside and explore for about an hour, real hands-on, go for a nature hike, or turn over some logs for our insect one, see what we can find. And then they'll come back inside and we'll do a craft. So little guys always like a craft.
And this looks as though it runs right through December
Yes.
with separate programs. Animals in, I'm looking at
Winter.
it backward, animals in winters, animal acrobatics,
feathers.
fur feathers and scales,
Lovely leaves.
lovely leaves, and the leaves, of course, that'll be a big feature on that campus
Yes.
really
Yeah,
started
the center of
beginning
Covington
now.
Township, absolutely.
Probably.
Yeah.
And a rather dry summer, so the leaves should be brilliant.
Yeah, and they're already starting to turn just
See,
a little
exactly.
bit by us. Yeah.
Wet summer, low color, high, drought conditions, bright, vivid color. So that's the rule of thumb.
All
yeah.
right, well, we'll have good leaves
You
then.
bet. You certainly will.
Do you, for the programs for the young people, and I don't mean the evening classes, do you go to the schools to bring classes in? Do they come to you asking for programs? How does that work?
Occasionally we go into schools. Primarily, schools come to us for a field trip. So let's say you're Moscow Elementary and you're the second grade teacher. You would coordinate with your school and with us, and you'd bring your whole second grade to us for a field trip. So we've got one for every grade, starting in pre-K all the way up to high school.
Pre-K even?
Yep. So programs for pre-K kids, field trips, and they all vary. So
It is.
you could choose depending on what you're working on as a teacher with your school curriculum. It could be a sensory nature walk for the little guys, all the way up to doing solar calculations with our alternative energy. Yeah, for the high school kids.
Do you have like a consortium of people who come up with these topics?
Pretty much just myself and my director,
Get out.
Sharon
That's
Yannick-Craig.
great.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You're
I mean, we
you're-
definitely chat with coworkers
Oh yeah, and you
and
see
people
what
in
other
the field.
places do in the field, but I mean
yeah.
that's really, you're on the cusp of everything that is really
Yeah.
right now. It's true.
Well, having the facility there to use is such a bonus, whereas some schools, some educators have to search for a place
You bet.
to go and find subject 1, subject 2, or subject 3, and you've got them all rolled together here at the center in Covington Township. Now, how about the actual college students,
Yes.
those that are attending Lackawanna College? Are there courses for them there as well?
We're working on developing more courses for them at our center. Actually, we partner with them a great deal with our own students coming to us for field trips. So like I said, we've got 211 acres. It really makes for a great living laboratory for them. So
Sure.
actually, we have a program today around 1:30. So when I get done with you guys, we'll be up there. And one of our professors, Dr. Trudis, is going to bring up his ecology class, and they'll be doing a botany species
Wow.
quadrad
Plants.
study.
Yeah, that's great.
And
Yeah.
and you learn so much more from a hands-on experience.
than a book.
You have to have textbooks. I understand that.
So do I.
But-
Exactly. But you learn exactly the retention factors like times 10. I got to tell you, Mark Volk, who runs Lackawanna College, is a neighbor of mine in Old Forge, and they're just on the cutting edge of all this technology. From this, they have in New Milford, which I'm quite familiar with, the School of Petroleum and Natural Gas, which is Lackawanna College. Really incredible. I mean, they're outdoing and surpassing some of the 5-star universities. It's really great.
Yeah.
You know?
And again, the hands-on, when you can talk all you want about this particular type of insect and that one, and you can show them in a book, but when you've got the students out there and they're turning those logs over and
Right.
finding them, it becomes real, and that makes a tremendous difference with the educational process, because it really registers. I've done this, I've seen that, I understand this. It's such a difference. One of the things, and let me point that out, since it's a natural area, do you not also offer some sort of a course for people that want to go into forestry or park ranger type
We do,
things?
yeah. We have a program.
I thought so.
It's a 1-year certificate, and it's called Conservation and Natural Resource Officer. It starts with the student taking the police academy at either main campus or the Hazelton program, and that is a whole program in and of itself. That's fantastic. It's very well known.
Oh, yes.
Right coming out of there, students are.
We've covered, by the way, the graduation of the police class here on ECTV a number of times, and it is rebroadcast. You can see it because very impressive, and you can see that we're turning out a good caliber of young men and young women into the law enforcement field. But when you think of law enforcement, you tend to think of the policeman.
Yes.
Your city policeman, your state policeman. You don't always think about some of these ancillary fields, such as a park ranger,
You bet.
which a park ranger has legal authority as well.
Yes,
It
indeed.
definitely. So the candidate who would want to join us for the Park Ranger program, like I said, it's a one-year certificate, so it starts with the police academy, and then they join us at the Environmental Education Center for 1 semester. That would be in the fall, or this spring, excuse me. And they take 5 classes, 3 credits each, so 15 credits of environmental science. So,
And that's all at the center.
and that's all at the Environmental Education Center, yes.
And we found out last time, too, correct me if I'm wrong, but your facility, you practice what you preach. Your facility has a wastewater treatment facility as well.
It does.
I remember that because
Yes.
I'm heavy into wastewater treatment, all that, but you have reverse osmosis filtering and the whole deal before it's discharged into the environment. So it's like you certainly practice what you preach, Michelle.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
We try.
And this
To
is a
lead by example.
poster that
Exactly.
reflects some of the things, including the ranger, what is it called?
It's the Conservation of Natural Resource Police Program.
Okay.
1-year certificate.
In a lot of other fields too, David, the Boat and Fish Commission, the
Yeah.
Game Commission.
Oh, yes.
I mean, you touched upon just the wide genre, but fish and boat, the whole deal, hunting, yeah.
This
Sure.
program was specifically designed with a retired park ranger from DCNR. So this meets the exact curriculum or hiring
That's great. That they
specifications
need to get in.
that they need to get in.
That's great.
And DCNR does say that they foresee a need for park rangers, especially in the next coming years. A lot of the men and women that are in the park ranger field right now are going to be retiring.
Mm-hmm.
So they predict that this will be a job.
Well, how has that program been accepted by the men and women who are in the regular police academy program?
We're hoping to get a few more of them registered in the environmental classes after the police academy. So we're launching it this fall. So this fall you have to be registered with the police academy. I think we'd have to check with the police academy, but I think they start in January or February. So you would start in this coming fall, winter, and then you would finish up with us in the.
Okay.
Do you know if
in
you have
the
some
fall.
students lined up already for the class?
We have a few, yeah,
That's good,
for
good.
the first cohort. So
Well,
we
that's
need a
good.
few more to run the program.
Well, and this is not going to
So-
be, a 50 in a class type of program. So it's like you have to realize the few students is really good.
Right,
in
and
the
that's
area.
great for the hands-on. These classes are going to be very unique. I'm sure there'll be some lecture PowerPoint, but they're going to be outside, field trip, getting their hands dirty,
That's
really
great.
giving them
Sure.
the in-the-field
Sounds like a winner.
experience.
Now, I don't know why anybody would go anywhere other than Lackawanna College for a police course, but should you have one in another school, knock on the door. I think
Yeah.
they may possibly make room for you with the environmental center, should you want to go into one of those ancillary fields we've been talking about.
We should
And
get
I
into
do-
something, David. We should get into another career at our age. What do you think?
And be park rangers?
Yeah,
You know-
I love the outdoors.
Yeah.
You know, I've
Absolutely.
always been impressed by the work that these, and you mentioned the Fish and Game Commission,
You bet.
for instance. Walter Buckman is a friend of mine who is with the, I think I'm with the Fish Commission. I know it's a broader title now, but he is so interested in promoting the environment in addition to enforcing all the rules and regulations. And a lot of that has to do with promoting safety as well. So I can see that this is a wonderful course that's going to result in some real professionals that have to deal with the public
You
every
bet.
day.
You bet.
Now, while we're on the subject of being out in the field, let's talk about a work in progress
Yes.
at the Environmental Center. And you brought a map along which you've called a trail map. Now, I do not recall, of all the facilities you have out there, I don't recall there being any trails. What's going on?
We are working on trails. We have a grant from the Overlook Foundation up in Clark Summit, so thank you very much for them.
Nature trail, right?
To them,
Yeah.
nature trails. Right now, they're not open to the public, but they are used for all of our programs. So this Wednesday, we've got an owl prowl. We'll be out on our trails, hiking around, listening for owls. And all of our little guys, when they're out with the natural wonders, they're on the trails, and we'll definitely be using them with our college students
That's
as
great.
well.
So it traverses the route of a lot of courses that tie in with this
Yeah.
trail. So that's
Yeah.
really smart,
Our-
David.
The 211 acres is just fantastic with its diverse habitats. So we've got, some hemlock stand, we've got meadows, we've got milkweed, we've got a nice stream that
That's
trickles
wetlands,
through.
right?
We do have a marsh
Wetlands,
area,
yeah.
So it's fantastic that, we're getting these trails in. We could really access all of those unique features
Now,
throughout the
is
property.
there a chance that these may eventually be open to the public?
We're working on the possibilities of that. So we'll see. Hopefully, maybe next time we come to join you guys.
Well,
we can-
Rusty and I have discussed on a number of occasions the Rails to Trails
Oh,
project.
gosh, you
That
bet.
have become so super.
That was the greatest idea of turning wanton, abandoned land, grown, like jungle type, into usable, where there's people 365 days a year walking and riding
they
this.
are being used, and that's
And they-
why.
right.
That's why I
Right.
see should they become open, or even one of them become open to the general public, you will expose your center to so many more people. who
Exactly.
wouldn't
Exactly.
necessarily see it.
That's single-handedly, if you accept the public into that, the single greatest point of promotion for the college.
Now, again, the public seeing the trails, just as we're talking about the students seeing the insects. and
Absolutely.
such,
Yeah.
It becomes a reality to them.
Absolutely.
It has to be pretty expensive to keep a facility like this operational. I mean, how do you do that? Is it strictly through the
Yeah,
I call
tuition.
them the tuitions, the fees for the programs?
It is through program fees, and we also get generous donations every year through the environmental education tax credits. So local businesses at the end of the year donate to the Educational Improvement Tax Credit Program, and they luckily have allocated their donation to us at the Environmental Education Center. So
Are you eligible for grants too? There's a lot of state grants,
And-
being that you're developing in-state for something like this.
yes, and I'm sure that there's many other grants that we participate
sure.
in too. I do know that the Overlook Foundation grant was the one specifically for the trails. Yeah,
So you've got to constantly be looking for those, of course.
absolutely.
To see. Now, programs, we're getting toward the end of the program here, and we've talked about how there's programs available all year long, and they're so varied,
Yes.
not only by the subject matter of the program, but by the age group that's able to use them. So, for those people watching that want to find out more about the center, what do they do?
This one here.
You just happen to have a little cheat sheet here
Yeah.
with
Website, phone number, all the
website,
information.
phone number.
Like us on Facebook. We try and put all of our programs out there, reminders for when our programs are coming. You can join our mailing list either by going to Facebook and clicking the little join, so not just liking us, but joining us. Emailing me your email address. You can email me your hard address if you'd like one of our newsletters. We do a newsletter every spring and every fall that has all of our
Okay.
information in it.
And you can get a mailing list for this
Yep.
then?
Yep,
Okay.
hard mailing or email, digital copy.
Or, of course, occasionally you can tune right in here to ECTV and have Michelle Wheeler tell you all about these programs, and we'll hold up some props. I've had-
Michelle, anything you and Sharon would like to do in the future that might be technically just not feasible at the moment? Any plans on the horizon for something big?
Ooh, boy. We've got lots of ideas.
I'm sure you do.
Reining us in so that we can get them all done
Sure you do.
is more the problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd love to see more of our college students out there, which we've been working on really heavy the last couple months.
The get involved tactic, huh?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
So definitely some new programs out there, college level.
Well, and again, some of that would come down to funding, to being able to fund a particular new program.
We're working on a grant right now for a new 2-year environmental education degree program, so we'll see how that pans out in the next couple of years. Very, very infancy of that, so.
And again, the staff is limited at this point too. Basically, 2 of you there at the center.
There's 2 of
So
us
if you're
at the
going to
center.
expand, you're probably going to have to add to staff. Building facility, what?
The facility's great, brand new. It was designed to be a multi-purpose building and room, to cater everything from a conference and workshop, a meeting place, our summer day camps, our public programs, lectures and workshops. And it was also designed, we can fit 2 classrooms in there at the same time. So we could have 2 college-style lecture classrooms.
Like an auditorium?
It's not an auditorium, but lecture hall, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And are there public programs in there on occasion where you invite, the folks in to tackle one particular subject? I mean, just opening the doors saying, hey, tonight we're going to talk about bees, come on in.
Yes, yep, that's what, we've got a whole series of our public programs. Yep, that's what the beekeeping workshops, those are not necessarily for our college students, they're for the general public.
All right.
Yep, our fall walk is for the public, our wilderness survival program, so yeah.
It sounds like the programs are well-rounded, and the facilities are certainly second to none.
Certainly new topics every time Michelle joins us. They're always working on something, David.
Yeah.
That's for darn
Yeah.
sure.
Well, I'm especially impressed with the new bee program,
Yeah,
since
you
I've
bet.
got obviously a little throat problem now. I can take some medicine
There you
with
go.
me and,
Soothing.
and soothe everything. Well,
Yeah.
Michelle Wheeler, I thank you so much for joining us on ECTV Live, and we'll probably have you come back again in the spring to talk
Great.
about some of the projects that you're starting then. And who knows, by then maybe one of those trails will be open and I can send Rusty out to check it out, depending how
Well,
far.
you're going to
the-
have to come with me now on
Sounds
one of
great.
those deals.
I do have a walking stick. I do
It's
have
like
a
the
walking
Lewis and Clark expedition all over again. We'll make it, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Clark.
Anytime.
Rusty Fender, my co-host here. And again, Mark McGlory, thank you so much
Thanks,
for
Mark.
handling all the technical aspects of our program. I'm David DeCosmo for ECTV Live. Until we see you again next week, here's hoping all your news is good.